Hey, Dash.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Are we muted?
No, you are unmuted now.
Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay. I can hear you, but I'm like, I never can know if anyone can hear me. Good morning. Oh, no, wait, it's not morning. Is it morning? Wait, what time? No, it's not morning. Good afternoon.
No, not anymore.
I decided to wear a FitRec shirt today. It's like cheer for the mashup.
And I love that you're outside.
Oh, it's so beautiful outside. Thank you, Jesus, to be outside.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. For everybody joining, good afternoon. Welcome to Lengthen and Strengthen. I'm Anna Marie Forbes. We're going to start right at 12:15. We'll go right to 12:45. If you do have a foam roller, if you can grab it, we're going to do a lot of foam rolling today. Otherwise, you can use your hand. I'll show modifications in foam rolling, but we're going to work out the muscles. Break up all that fascia, connective tissue. So if you're tight, spend a lot of time for 30 minutes just working on that. Has everybody been working out all morning or connecting to a couple? Love it. Yay. All right, so you guys, if you want to just have a place, you'll definitely be on the ground for actually the class. I don't think we're gonna get up, honestly, or the whole class. So it'll be on the ground, something a little bit different. And it's not yoga, so I just wanna make sure everyone understands we're gonna do more foam rolling and or using our hand as the foam roller. This is what the foam roller would look like, something like this, or something comparable. Doesn't have to have all this stuff going on in it. You might have one at home. I can see a couple of you that are not on, I have the video up, so I see it. Thumbs up to that. Otherwise, I kind of want to show you on mine before class gets started. This right here, this big square would be considered like your palm. So you can do the same thing with the palm of your hand. These long lines here would be considered like fingertips. So if you were kind of rubbing or massaging this way with a self-massage. And then these little teeny tiny squares here would be like fingertips, or like the thumb kind of like digging in. So it's for self-myofascial release, which is what we're gonna do today, what foam rolling is all about, to break up that fascia connective tissue, to allow better blood circulation and relieve that tightness in all of our muscles. So let me just check the time. Okay, awesome. We're gonna get started in like a minute or two, let a few people get in. 12:45. I'm just telling my producer and executive producer and directors the timing. But 12:40. Then 4. I'm very blessed to have two amazing girls on the other side of this camera that truly are such blessings to me. So maybe that's what we could do for the next minute while people get on, is think about something or someone in your life that's like a blessing for you today. I love that I see someone outside too. Hi, Loretta. Just going like outside just into my, hi, Erin. Is that Erin? Yeah, hi, Erin. Yeah, just I found you to kind of just take a minute, and this is a very laid back class. There's no music, no Spotify. I have nothing to upload except for my voice that you're gonna hear. We're just gonna go through some muscle relief and just kind of enjoy 30 minutes of completely something different. So if you wanna unmute yourself, if you have any questions, I am not against that. So please do. Otherwise, welcome to Lengthen and Strengthen. I'm gonna get started. So I'm gonna head back to my mat, foam roller. Challenge yourself for the next 30 minutes to figure out something that's a blessing to you. It could be just, I don't even know, the air. I'm grateful for the air right now outside. I'm grateful it's not raining. If you guys have water, grab it. You'll see me drinking a lot during this. I'd like to say thank you to all of you for coming for our mashup today. So I'm honored to be a part of it. I always am. I'm so grateful to be a part of this team. So thank you guys for continuing on. Let's head to the floor. We don't need the foam roller right away. Just kind of set it to the side. The first thing we're going to do is come out with our feet in front of us. And everybody can hear me, right? Thumbs up if you can hear me fine. Awesome. So I want us to think about bringing our feet together, toes together, kind of flex towards us. Sit up tall. Imagine a string going from your navel all the way through top, up to the top of your head. I always tell people like a puppet string. If you're holding here, take your shoulders back and down and release. Let yourself kind of relax. Now, how many of you are squeezing your thighs and your hip flexors? I am. So relax. Kind of let your knees bend a little bit. It'll cause your hip flexors to relax a little bit. They like to take over. What we don't want to do is slouch. So I want you to think about shoulders back and down. And I just want us to raise our hands up into the air. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. If you want to close your eyes, you can. And a nice release. Keep those hands in the air. Shoulders are back and down. And release. And one more time, reach 1 inch higher. Fingertips, kind of spread them apart. Let those fingers move. And release. Now we're going to do a slight knee bend. Tip forward a little. Whether you reach your thighs, your shins, or your feet, I want you to tuck your chin to your chest and just hold in a seated forward fold. So we're just going to relax here for probably about 30 seconds. Your guys' heads will naturally be down, chin tucked to chest. I'm kind of leaving my head up a little bit just to make sure you guys can hear my voice. I love that so many people are outside. Praise, awesome. It's nice to see a little blue sky. Let's take 1 deep breath in and release. 2 more just like that. Through the nose, inhale. Hold at the top. And exhale. 1 very last time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Let's slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Get our legs ready to warm up. All we're going to do is this one simple stretch on the ground. What I want us to take is our feet, heels are together. We are going to take, without moving the knees, think about it not rotating at the knees. I mean, they'll move a little bit, but I don't want you to rotate through the knee. I want you to do hips. We're going to take our toes out, keeping your heels together, trying to reach the mat. So our pinky toe, try to make big jazz toes and try to reach that pinky toe towards the mat. Relax your hands, kind of shake out. We're going to do, we'll integrate upper body and lower body together. So kind of like shake our hands a little bit while we're doing this. And then we're going to come back in to neutral. Bend the knees a little bit. Come back out. Same release. If you have to, separate your heels a little bit. That's fine. You do not have to touch the mat. But I do want you to try to take those toes just like your fingers. And let's do the same thing with our hands. Opening the fingers and extending out, right? So an external rotation. Now come up 1 more time back in. If you can, keep your heels together. Otherwise, modify and separate and go back out. Remember to sit tall. Think about that string. It's imaginary. The whole time, it's like a dancer. Really good posture. Chest is out, shoulders are back and down, and release. Let's take this out. We're gonna shoot right outside of the hip bone. And this time, we're gonna have the same movement, kind of release those hip flexors again. Bend your knees back and forth if you need to. This time, we're gonna take and go in an internal, right? So, oh, this one's a little harder for me. My hips are really tight. Try to reach those big toes together. They do not have to touch. And let's do the same thing with our hands. Thumbs are facing in. And then we release back to neutral. Kind of roll the wrists around a couple times. Maybe take those toes and move them around. Ankles a little bit. Maybe make circles or point and flex. Like I said, it's very laid back, so you can do what you need to do. Sit up tall again. 1 more. Come through. You should be feeling this a little bit in those hips. They get tight. Come back up.
Wave hi to people.
One last time.
Jen, you knocked over my water. Sorry.
And release. All right. Let's bend those knees and bring ourselves into a seated position to kind of get those hips a little bit stretched before we start foam rolling. If one of your hips is a little bit higher than the other, you can sit in your cross-legged position. If one tends to come up, you guys know this, just a little bit more tightness usually on the other side of the body. So if you can sit in like a cobbler's pose for even 3 to 5 minutes a day, these are the things you guys can do when you're not on with us, and or in a seated position with the legs crossed, just to kind of open those hips up, okay? I'm gonna stay here for about 30 seconds, wherever you feel pretty comfortable. Don't be afraid to get a little uncomfortable. Opening up the chest to the sky. Let's raise our hands all the way up. Reach over. Heart is open to the sky or the ceiling, wherever you are. Take a nice inhale, go to the other side. Reach. Heart open to the sky. Eye gaze up. Open to all the possibilities of what today holds. And release. All right. Let's grab that foam roller if you have it. We are going to start with one leg at a time. We're going to move up the leg. If you want to do both legs, that's fine too, but I'm going to show one. I'm going to start first going from above the ankle bone to right below the knee. For those of you who have lengthened and strengthened before, we're going to come forward and roll north and south. You can lift yourself off the ground if you want. You can stay seated and roll north and south for 4. If you do not have a foam roller, that's fine. All you would do for those 4 north and south, kind of putting some pressure, we're going to go east to west, rolling side to side, slowly. Meaty part of the calf for 4. Keep going with that. I'm just going to show, if you don't have a foam roller, the only difference would be you can use your fingertips to go side to side with that calf muscle. So you just start to push through here, one side, and then come through the other with the fingertips. Last but not least, that meaty part of the calf, so where it kind of hangs over on both sides, make sure your foot is towards the ground. If it's up like this, it's too much tension. So release, okay? What I want you to do is if there's a spot that's tight, you're gonna make like a U, like an upward or upside down rainbow. I like to think of things in rainbow. Rainbow dash, hence my name, right? My nickname. Come all the way through and then all the way, find that spot. And if you need to, you kind of just wanna work it out a little bit. You don't wanna spend more than about 30 seconds there though. Anybody feel this that can reach their mic? Let me know. I'm going to challenge you if you want to come down a little bit lower because there's 2 sections you can do here. If you want to come a little bit lower on the calf, right, you can do this section. So you're talking about more like right above the ankle bone to mid calf. That's really tight for me. If any of you have been walking a lot or standing, we wince a lot in this class, by the way. Usually I can hear your wincing. I'm lifting myself off the ground for a level 3, so I'm putting more pressure onto the foam roller, like for right here for a spot for me. So I'm gonna hold it there for about 10 seconds. I'm gonna take a deep breath in and release. Allow some activity in your toes. This should not be painful, like a knife, okay, but this shouldn't be super comfortable either if your muscles and that fascia is tight. Kind of release it by taking and rolling back and forth a little bit quicker for a few and kind of point and flex that toe. Anybody who's close to their mic, did anybody feel that? If you can unmute yourself, if you're not, that's fine. I'll just take a thumbs up. Anybody feel that? Thumbs up if you did. If you're giving me a thumbs up, I hope you are, and I just realized it's so small in gallery view, I can't even see my glasses. How ridiculous. All right, let's go to the other side. We're gonna go again. The north and south is 4 times. The slower, the better. So I want you to roll forward for 1. Try to take about 4 to 6 counts to get all the way up and down from right above the ankle bone to right below the knee. As you can hear, my calves are very tight. Plantar fasciitis, foot pain, stuff in the heels, a lot of that comes from tight calves. So if anybody's experiencing that, this is what you need to be doing every day for at least 10 minutes, including me. I have been doing it, but then you could do it for even longer every day. It'd be better. Now make sure that calf and that heel is towards this mat. Again, don't tense up, release. Even if it's kind of pressuresome, then you just leave yourself on the ground. Because all you do then is don't lift yourself up. And you're still gonna go east to west, rolling all the way to one side of the muscle, all the way back over to this side of the muscle. This somebody should feel. I'm gonna believe you're feeling this because this shouldn't be super comfortable. And now we're gonna take and make that U kind of an upside down rainbow where you dig with pressure, not too much, but this is something where I'm like, this is your workout. It's a self myofascial release. The only person who kind of can add to the pressure of what is too much is you. If it hurts like a knife, ease up a bit. But it shouldn't not feel anything. All right, and so for this, we're gonna release again. Now again, I challenge you to come to the bottom portion, so mid-calf to right above the ankle bone. I want to see if that's a little bit tighter for people. That's a lot of that behind there is what leads to plantar fasciitis feeling. So if you're having any tightness, there, go slower. So how about if you take 4 total counts to go from right here to only halfway up. So listen, 1, lift yourself up if you can, if you don't have a wrist issue. 2, 3, 4. Now go back. 1, 2, 3. This is self-care at its finest. Nobody said this class is overly exciting. It's just what's got to be done. You can rainbow the other way, meaning if you make a rainbow, if you think about it, or east to west. So this is like a rainbow, right? And then the rainbow goes upside down into, watch, a U. So now I'm digging it in. Like pressure makes more of a U. I try to explain it that way you guys get a feel for it instead of fancy words. All the way in. All right, and then roll it out. You should feel a little bit of a release when you take it up, like, oh, okay, that feels a little bit better. We're gonna go to our hamstrings. If you can sit on the on one, you're gonna sit here. If you can sit on the foam roller. Some people have like really long foam rollers. Like I have one double the size. I didn't bring that one out, but otherwise you can sit on the foam roller itself. And we're gonna come right above, right to the hip flexor, and then right where the knee starts. So don't go to the knee, right above the knee. And you roll forward and down. Again, keep that heel close to the floor. Try not to tense up. For hamstring. And then while we're at it, if you can, come and sit down on it, either on the whole thing or one side will sit your bottom. I'm going to show it from the side. So it's like the meaty part of your butt, it's the psoas muscle. We're going to sit and kind of work that out. So sit with your feet together, one side down, hand on the floor. If you need more support, you can. Otherwise, you're going to kind of go back and forth on your bottom. Now here's another time if you find a spot, you want to do that rainbow, rolling side. Ooh, okay, all the way to the other side. So you think about east to west. apply pressure. And now you want to think about that U. So you're kind of digging that muscle in. And if you find a spot, like for me, it's right there. I'm going to take a deep breath in and release. Let it kind of melt into the foam roller. Don't be afraid to stay there for a few seconds. Take another deep breath in and release. Slowly bring yourself to the floor, or if you're already on the floor, we're gonna go to the other side. If you need water between, that's super typical. It's like getting a massage. When you get a massage, a lot of times people say to drink a lot of water. So self-myofascial release is just like giving yourself a massage with either your fingertips, hands, or this foam roller. So this time we're gonna go to the hamstring again, right above the knee to right below the hip. We're gonna roll forward and back, allowing that foot to kind of come as close to the ground as possible. If this bothers your wrist, you can go directly, for all of you for modification, you could just go directly onto the side. I'm gonna stay with you for modification. So for me, also, you can make a fist, so you don't have to have the whole palm down. You can make a fist, it's another modification. I try to give as many as I can. Another option would be, sometimes they sell, or we have like little balls, and you can work out the psoas muscle with that too, like sitting on the ball and let it kind of work its way through that muscle. But try to think about this. Our bodies right now get really, really tense. It's trying to tighten up, so I need you to relax. So take a deep breath in. Make sure your jaw isn't tight. That was my challenge. I wonder if anyone's worked on it. My challenge was to see how many times you tighten your jaw since I saw you on Wednesday. I've been working on it myself. Remember, 4, 4, 4. So we go north and south. Then we go east and west. And then I like to say a U. But either way, it's just forward and back. And then we go side to side, rolling one side to the other. And then you kind of digging the muscle in wherever you feel something. One side might be tighter. Try to keep those feet on the ground. And release. All right, slowly come to the ground. Now, the next one we're gonna do is, if you can, come to your mat this way. We're gonna go out into what we call like a plank or a hover position. So you're gonna lay one leg or both, depending on how big your foam roller is or what you wanna do with it. You're gonna lay your thigh, we're gonna do the quad, from the knee, right above the knee, to right below, so that same area. We're gonna come down into a hover position, and you're just gonna roll, kind of army crawl it back and forth. Now I'm gonna go on this side kind of angle for a second here. So you can see if I was doing this leg, you guys just keep moving. Dirt never hurt me, so I'll be fine. Kind of like think dirt's good. I'm gonna come forward and back. So I'm just gonna roll forward in like a hover position. And every one of you should feel this. I would be shocked if nobody feels this. Go slower if you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then try to take 10. The slower you go, the more effective this is. This is the part where people are usually like, oh, this class is actually gonna do something. Nothing for people to tell me this is the most boring class in the world, the first 15 minutes of class. And then by 45 minutes into the class, people are like, oh my gosh, they start sweating from just doing this. Now, what if I ask you to roll? What if I ask you to roll it side to side? So think about making that east to west. If I come here, and now I'm gonna roll one side to the other side, keeping my hips squared to the ground. You can take your feet off the ground for a level 2, so even more difficult. Otherwise, you would keep both feet on the ground. And then, once you've done that, if you find a spot that's very tight, I want you to take and I want you to dig that spot in. So for me, I'm gonna do this right here. This is a very active form of stretching. You guys stay where you are. I want you to think about it. This is very active. Like you're not just laying there and the foam roller is just magically moving, okay? So you have to do some work to get yourself to the place that you feel comfortable with it. And at the same time, it's effective. But just know that if you feel like all of a sudden your triceps and you're having to use your forearms and your core, that's normal. I'm gonna allow you to come back up, finish both sides. All of this, remember, can be done all the time for at least 10 to 20 minutes a day, would not hurt anyone. And that the last one we're gonna do on the ground for right now is we're gonna take and do our lower back. This is a simple one. I feel like you can kind of understand the concept. We're gonna sit up tall, and all you're gonna do is let yourself roll back and forth. Try to keep your hands crossed. You guys, listen to my voice. Keep your hands crossed to your chest like an X. Tuck your chin to the chest so your neck is in line with spine. And you're just going to gently roll from right above the bottom, so kind of the lower back area, all the way to maybe mid shoulder, not too much higher, depending on how high you want to go. I'm purposely trying not to use fancy words because I feel like it gets overly complicated already. So just kind of where it feels comfortable. You might feel something crack. I don't know about you, but my back always likes to crack. Kind of brace your core, tuck that chin. And if you find a spot that feels really good, you can set your bottom on the ground. And I challenge you to this now. Keep the chin tucked to the chest like you're holding an orange. But now I want you to relax your arms out. And now slowly keep the neck in line with spine and just open yourself to the sky, to the ceiling, wherever it is, and close your eyes. And release. We're going to slowly use the core to brace ourselves to come back up. The chest. I'm going to slowly roll up using those core muscles. Now this is an awesome one for a spinal release. I need you to listen very closely before you do it. The foam roller is going to go up and down the length of your spine. I love how much I'm like getting into my plants and into my mulch. You're going to have it where you can protect your head. So the head has to be protected. So the head wants to make sure you have space in the head. And it's going to sit on the spine. And you're just going to allow yourself to melt into it this way. So if you look at me now, don't let that head hang off of it. Make sure the head is protected. For those of you that have a longer one, you guys stay in your form. For those of you that would have a longer foam roller, that might be the whole body length or half the body length, you're going to get obviously more of yourself on it, but allow the head not to be off of it. And for 30 seconds, I'm going to shut up and just smile at the screen. All right, I want you to slowly take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And however you need to come off of this, whether that's rolling over to the side and using one hand over the other like a fetal position to come off, or lift yourself off safely, come up. The next thing we're going to do is, if you can, sit on your knees. If that bothers you, you can also get a yoga block to put here and sit back on it, okay? And or just here. If this bothers you completely, you can sit on your bottom and work out your feet, because we're going to actually open our feet. So you can just kind of do a self massage on your feet with your toes and palm and your fingers. Otherwise, we're going to sit back with our toes tucked and open. Now, do me a favor. Don't let yourself just drop back into your feet. I want you to pretend there's that string from your navel all the way up through your head, holding you tall, okay? So the feet are still active and you're opening up that foot. We're gonna stay here for 10 seconds. 8, 4, 3, 2, and release. Tuck those toes under. So now they're pointed, right? If you can, sit back onto your toes. You do not have to. The modification would be to stay right here, and that is perfectly awesome. And then if you're like me, my toes now like start to cramp because they're like, what are you doing? Take your toes up again. Knees are right under the hips, separated a little bit. And we're gonna sit back like a ½ inch. Still keeping that imaginary line and standing tall, shoulders back and down. And now 1 more inch. If you can, sit all the way back down and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Thumbs up if anybody feels that. You should feel that in your feet. It should feel really kind of not super comfortable, but it's gonna feel really good. One more time if you're in for it. Open those toes up really wide. And what about this time if we open our fingertips really, really wide to the sky, okay? So I want you to think about doing this. And now I want you to make a fist when you go back down to sit on them. Make as tight as fist you can with your hands. As tight as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now I want you to release everything out and shake it out. When I come back into a seated position, you can use your yoga block if you want to. We have about 3 minutes left, so we're gonna take this time. Let's come to this cobbler's pose if we can. So we're gonna keep our feet together. Now, it doesn't matter if your feet are out here or if they're really close to your body. Don't get caught up in all that, okay? I just want us to roll our shoulders back and down. Let's do a little bit of mat work. We're gonna look to the side. On that inhale, we're gonna come through the middle and release, exhale to the other side. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Another inhale. One more time to each side. And last time. If this starts to get uncomfortable, you can always come into a cross-leg position. The last move we're gonna do is we're gonna take this chin, tuck it to the chest. Should feel a nice release in the neck. I want us to take the shoulders and back and down, place the hands to the ground. Slowly roll back up. Do that one more time. Take the chin, tuck it to the chest, and try to look towards the ground. Deep breath in. And on the exhale, should drop about another ½ inch. Make those shoulders separate away from the ears. They're not buddies. Right now, they're not friends. We're gonna sit tall, and now we're gonna make our shoulders and ears friends for the last move. So what I want you to do is I want you to cinch everything all the way up as you can, and find a time in your day to do this for about 10 seconds. Maybe, I don't know, when you're brushing your teeth, like brush your teeth like this, and now release. And one last time. All in, all the tension, even in your face, even if it looks silly. And release. One final deep breath in. Let's reach the sky. Attitude of gratitude. My blessing is being with you guys today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and a blessed holiday. And thank you for joining me. I'll be back Wednesday at 12:15.